I expected, given that the introduction for me in this game was actually that it's a glitchy mess and it's very imbalanced, I expected it to be more broken, really. But so far, it seems pretty sound from a design perspective.
No, it's definitely solid. It's just a game that's been played so much that people have a very critical eye of everything that's wrong with it.
Is that like for Pokemon as a franchise as a whole, or is it just for this one specifically?
A little bit of both.
Interesting. Also, welcome back. I'm halfway there. Technically not.
Yeah. Yeah. All levels are created equal, right? Right?
If I do this 5 minutes more, I'll get it right. Oof. Okay.
Level 6 is going to take a while. Can't wait for Leadley to be able to hold its own. Pidgeys are kind of annoying. Maybe I should go to the forest, because then it might actually be more effective time-wise than swapping out and splitting experience.
I'm assuming with the moves I have, there's no reason for me to take either one really. So my Caterpie only has like Sting and Tackle. So...
Oh yeah, the String Shot is just a speed reduction, it's not that useful. And... I mean, eventually you could probably fight in the forest, okay. But...
There's no like real gain from doing that one way or the other, right?
Sorry, I missed the keyword there.
I'm saying there's no real gain from doing it one way or the other, right?
I mean, if you can win a fight without splitting experience, it might be more time efficient.
Well, Caterpillar is level 6 right now, so maybe you can probably survive a couple battles. I can try it out. It would definitely help to know which Pokemons he would be good at. But I think since everyone is normal grass type, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's a bug type, not grass.
Oh. Dumb question, is Pidgey really good against bug types?
No, because Gust is not a flying type in this game, so you don't... In fact, yeah, I think the Pidgey just knows Gust, which is normal type. It's kind of strong, but you can probably take this fight. You can try it.
See, once again, I'm thinking on this on a very technical and real-life aspect, right? And I imagine to myself, would a bird eat a worm? Absolutely.
Yep. No,
So
Pidgey,
therefore,
in newer
Caterpie
games,
must
Pidgey
be
would
good.
absolutely destroy Caterpie almost all the time at the same level. And Caterpie's not that strong against any Pokemon. Oh hey, I got a Wild Kakuna. Perfect. This is gonna take a while, but... Oh, that's right. Poison is super effective against Bug. But it's resistant. Poison resists Bug, so it's gonna say it's super effective. But this is like one of the examples of the glitch. It says it's super effective, but it's actually just normal effectiveness. Because they don't handle what happens when there's type effectiveness and type resistance at the same time.
I have 1 to 5 with 2 HP left. Okay, I don't think I will use Caterpie in the first Pokemon.
But you did get a solid 22.
I mean, it's not that good, but it's something, I guess. Not a Pidgey. Why could it just not be a Rattata instead? Okay.
So if I recall correctly, you might want to stop the evolution to Metapod until level 9. Because I think the attack stat goes down when it evolves, although it's maybe not a ton. I guess I'm not sure what I'll do. I'll think about that when I hit level 7.
There's already a concept that I'm not really well aware of. Withholding evolutions, why would you ever do that? Is there like a specific reason to it?
There's a couple reasons, but they're not that important. So in this case, the reason why I would delay the evolution to Kakuna or Metapod is because their attack stat goes down. And it doesn't slow anything else down for getting to Butterfree and Beedrill. Hey, Mike Mason, I'll praise Beedrill. Yeah, we're going for that. Ooh, solid 52 experience. Sorry.
Is it like a consistent thing that the attack stat is just like decreasing per level, or is it just like for a certain level?
It's just those two Pokemon specifically because they're, you know, becoming cocoons, so they don't really attack. They keep their moves though. So you might want to evolve them to get their defense stat up, because that does go up. Wow, another Kakuna. What's going on here? This is really... I'm pretty sure this is really rare. I've seen like 3 Kakunas already. Although I guess you saw a Pikachu right off the bat, so someone's rigging the RNG, but I'm not going to complain.
You think they actually tweaked the spawn rate a little bit?
No, but the only things I touched were the things that are in the document.
Okay. I'm very happy to have this Pikachu right now, by the way.
No, yeah, like I said, it's a good Pokemon. I checked out ROM hacks for Pokemon. I have. I haven't really played any. Yeah, if you can find a Cocoon or a Rattata, it's just solid experience and it doesn't fight back. It's kind of like a slime, except it doesn't run, it just wastes your time. Or what I mean is Metal Slime.
Yeah, from Dragon Quest, yeah. Gotcha. So, back to Viridian Force we go, I guess. Oh, Pikachu. Aww. Well, that makes him more adorable, okay? This means more to love of Pikachu, right?
Well, he might be referring to how Pikachu's design has gotten skinnier over time.
In Generation 15, he'll just be a tiny string, nothing else.
Yeah, he's approaching the singularity. Getting compressed down more and more until he collapses in on the immense gravity of Pokemon popularity.
Was it always the intention from the very start to have Pikachu as the main mascot, or is that just something that like, casually developed itself?
I would imagine not, because it wasn't the face of the original games. And I think the anime came out after the games in Japan. So maybe, but I wonder. Yeah, and so Mike Basin, so about using ROM hacks, like I kind of debated like whether we should play with more modifications, and I decided like in this case we'll play it with more from a purist perspective, because Dustin's coming from this from having not played it basically since one time over a decade ago. Okay, something's going on here. So many Kakuna. Like I'm seeing more Kakuna than Weedle, so now I'm kind of wondering if something is wrong with this ROM edit. Or if I'm just incredibly lucky. Or maybe this is just how Pokemon Red is. Maybe Kakuna is more common than Metapod. I'm just used to Pokemon Blue.
Let's see.
How many Metapod have you seen?
Almost none. I've seen one, I think, so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're like, to set this up I used the Universal Randomizer, and it has like options to fix other glitches, and I was like, you know what, we'll leave all the other glitches in, like the things about focus energy, it's supposed to increase your critical hit rate, and instead severely reduces it. We'll keep it in. Yeah, when we talk about glitchy meshes, like, there are things like that. Doesn't make the game unplayable, but it's kind of funny.
How are you supposed to know about when you play that as a kid? I mean, the game doesn't tell you. The game tells you it increases your critical stat.
The game doesn't tell you that's the thing, the game doesn't actually tell you anything. All it says is, like, the Pokemon is building energy. And then you have to look up online in a guide, what does that mean? And
Metapod, you said, is a Metal Slime equivalent as well?
Yep.
Should I capture it, or should I just, like...
so your Caterpie is going to evolve into Metapod anyway, so since you're already training it, you might as well just fight it. That's what I would do.
Got it.
Because you have to become a Metapod before you become a Butterfree.
Okay. This is very bizarre. Oh, he just uses Harden over and over again. Now I have normal type moves against him.
Alright, I'm just gonna let this thing evolve, and it'll give me defense to fight Pidgeys.
This is ridiculous. This is the exact Pokemon experience I was waiting for.
Yeah, well, these are the fights you don't think about too hard. You just press A and you keep chatting.
I mean, sure. Doesn't require much focus, but I do care about my pacing a little bit, you know?
I swear I've seen only Cocoons and never any Weedles. What's going on here?
He's so really hard at this point nothing happens. How many times can you use that move before nothing happens? Like 7 times?
You can buff yourself or debuff something else up to 6 levels.
Okay, so it was close. That was ridiculous. Don't do any damage on him. 26 experience, that is actually really good. Caterpie's evolving. Do I want to?
Yeah, you might as well. Because you're going to get the Metapod entry anyway. So your attack stat will go down a little bit, your defense will go up.
I already have a Metapod, so there we go, I guess.
Yep.
This one has actual moves though, so yeah.
Yep.
Hello there from Grant. Oh yeah, you read my chat as well, never mind.
Yep, how's it going, man?
I'm very loosely paying attention to Dadi's chat, so forgive me if someone from Dadi's chat is responding to something. I'm currently new to the game, so my focus is very much spent on the game for right now.
But you're quickly learning that a lot of it becomes just mash A and don't think about it.
Which is kind of nice, because I do like experiences where I can just backseat a little bit or just relax. Yeah, that's the gripe I have with modern RPGs a little bit, where it's just like, you can't just spam one move anymore and just get past a random encounter. You have to actually sometimes think, right? Which on paper isn't awful at all. It's nice when you actually have to utilize strategy. But when you have to do it over and over again constantly, every 10 seconds, then it starts straining you a little bit, right?
Yep.
So I actually kind of prefer this as a system, because here at least if I don't care for the random encounter, I just smash one button and it's over.
Oh yes, 3 HP lost from a gust. We can fight Pidgeys now.
Like my Caterpie is still named Caterpie. My Metapod is still named Caterpie.
Yeah, because you keyed in the name manually.
Backseating my own video game, exactly. I'm judging my own performance as I play, being like, I've mashed the button half a second too slow, okay? So this run is dead officially. But yeah, no, this is actually very relaxing. I like this a lot. This is more fun than I expected, because when I looked at Pokemon a couple days prior to see what experience I'm actually getting myself into, right? It looks like a very stellar game to me, honestly. But this is surprisingly more fun than it looks, really, for how basic it seems.
Okay. For science, I'm going to see if I ever find a Weedle.
I got another Pikachu.
Okay, there's a Weedle. Game's legit. And cool.
Catch 2. Is there ever any point in catching the same Pokemon again?
For this challenge, no, because you don't, like, we're not going to say, like, you need to have a Pikachu and a Raichu, you can just have.
If someone tells me to hunt a Pikachu down, do I have to hunt another Pikachu? Then I think I technically would need to, right?
I think I worded mine that I would not. Let me see what I put in for my rule.
My Metapod is dying. No.
I worded it as prioritize, so I would interpret that as if we had gotten it already, then it was pointless.
Okay. I will just remind people of that and then just refund it if that happens. I did it, I defeated Pikachu.
And I think it's just in the interest of not bogging things down too much.
I mean, there's another question I actually have in regards to the pacing of this game. The way it starts off, is it that way consistently?
No, because eventually you get, like right now we're in the awkward phase where your Pokemon are not super capable, but you eventually grow out of that.
So the pacing actually becomes better over time, or is it like random?
I mean, there might be some places where you have to grind, like, I can't say I could tell you exactly where those are, but like if you want to go through the game with one Pokemon, you can do that. And it won't take a lot of time. if you want to catch all the Pokemon, that will take a lot of time, whether you're grinding or not.
Well, it's a good thing that we only have to capture roughly 75 each if we balance each other off.
Yep.
Still a lot.
No, the grindy part is when you have to catch the rare Pokemon, like the 1% encounters. Which I think Pikachu is, so you're already off to a good start there.
It can't be 1% because I've already encountered 2 in like 25 battles, I guess. At least then it's a very forgiving system if it's 1%. Okay. I'm not getting into any encounters right now. I was about to say. Stop wasting your energy. Excuse me, I found a Kakuna now.
Wow.
Interesting.
Everyone's finding Kakuna, even Pokemon Blue.
This is not a good position. Does Kakuna have any counterattacks?
You know, maybe that's why I think... no, it's like Metapod. Maybe that's why I'm so surprised with seeing so many Kakuna, because I played so much Pokemon Blue. It's as common to me as a Metapod is to you. And it's not that uncommon in...
Okay. Oh, this is... I'm not gonna have enough moves to kill this thing.
Yep. Well, yeah, you might as well switch out now, I would say.
Yeah, there's no point.
Because what happens once you run out of moves is you use the move struggle, which, if I recall correctly in this generation, it doesn't have a lot of power, but then you take like half of the damage that you do back, so you would probably end up fainting at this point.
Oh. There we go.
And so this is where, like, if you encounter a Kakuna for your Caterpie, it might make sense to do a... Since the problem with Caterpie is you don't have same type attack bonus. If you use a move that's the same type as your Pokemon, it's 50% stronger. And that makes Weedle slightly better, because Poison Sting has the chance to poison on top of being same type attack bonus, although Poison Sting is not that powerful base damage. But I'm noticing I'm not having trouble taking out Kakuna in any case, but you would probably have more trouble.
Is there any way I can check what power like a specific move has?
For this version, you have to look it up online. But I can tell you, I can tell you approximate. Tackle is like quote unquote 40 base power, and then you could just know that 40 is not a very strong move.
So I'm assuming 50 is average, 100 is a lot.
50 is better. I would say like when you get into the late game, a good move will have at least like 80 power, or maybe 70, if you wanted to do damage. No one caught a Rattata yet. I can go ahead and catch one.
And another Metapod. It is Metapod versus Metapod, the most interesting fight of them all. I wonder what will happen.
Well, we saw how that played out in the anime.
I think I remember that. I've seen the anime, so I know a little bit. This is a faithful recreation from the Pokemon anime. I'm clearly Ash captured right now.
Yeah, Ash forgot to have his Metapod not forget Tackle.
So you only had Harden or what?
Yeah, they made it more realistic where like once it became Metapod, it was not able to move anymore. Alright, I caught Rattata, which is lower left of Caterpie.
Okay. Once I'm done with this fight, I will cross it off.
Yeah,
I can just do it in the meantime, actually, it doesn't matter. Lord to who you said? Caterpie. Rattata. This is really hard to make out. That is. Okay.
Alright, any nicknames for Rattata? Or Rattata?
I can think of one where that starts with an I and ends with a D, but I don't think that one is allowed on Twitch.
Shame on you.
Uh-huh. I don't regret anything.
Normal Chew, alright.
Uh-huh. Oh, not another Metapod.
No, they're good for experience. Just switching to Ember immediately might be better.
Yeah, because it's too long of a fight if I just have to constantly, like... If I have to, like, constantly just, like, attack with a normal move.
Yeah, that's gonna be the kind of thing that's hard to judge. You can probably win if you start with full PP on your moves, but it might just be faster to go to Ember.
Yeah, it's a one-shot with Ember. With the other one, with, like, Tackle, it's 12 hits, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I actually didn't count. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's the thing that someone's probably measured to whether it's better to switch in that situation or not. Alright, I'm 28 from level 8.
Wow.
Getting to level... I'm not gonna get to level 12, but... I wonder if the experience farm is actually working against us in this case, because we don't have any high-level Pokemon to fight against.
Who knows? I guess. I mean, I don't mind so much. I just need like a gauge on how long this takes, and at this point it feels like I'm not getting any level ups anymore, so I'm partially concerned, otherwise fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while to level 12 in any case, but if you do make it to Butterfree, it's gonna be... at least you'll be able to fight pretty effectively. And you'll have a lot of HP.
I feel like I'm already set for fighting Brock at this point, though, like, because I've got like a level 10 Charmander.
You could try fighting Brock, I mean, if you want to give it a shot. I don't know if you can win with level 10. I can tell you that, like, one strategy would just... let's see, what other Pokemon do you have? You have...
Pikachu, Rattata, not Rattata, I have Pikachu, Metapod, and Charmander. The fourth one is just this one randomly card, which is another Metapod.
Yeah, the problem is you don't have anything to... the only thing that can do anything to Brock's Pokemon are weak attacks, like Tackle. You can Growl them to reduce their attack, or you can Ember them. And you can pray for an Ember.
You should check out Pokemon Ultra Shiny Gold Sigma. It uses Gold Silver layout and has over 800 Pokemons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of Pokemon hacks out there that, like, use the... I guess I don't know that one specifically, but there are, you know, lots of things that soup up this game to, like, include other Pokemon, or, like, bring in features, or whatever. I think the one I played was, like, crystal clear once upon a time. There is a... so if you go into the Pokemon gym, there is a trainer you can fight that can get you some decent experience. I think that one doesn't even have a rock Pokemon, so it's actually okay to level against. I think it's a Sandshrew. I guess I'll check it out.
I can just do it immediately. I mean, I'm fine. I won't be losing the fight. I just have to, like, heal my Pokemons at worst, right?
Yep, save and save often as usual.
Sure.
Oh, Diglett. Level 11.
Constant Brilliant Force web programs to have encounters. Okay.
Yeah, I do remember that now that was brought up. Okay, Poison Sting is actually not effective on ground types. This is not going to work.
It's an interesting perspective that we're at the very start of the game and I'm already learning so much about how broken this game is.
Yeah, like I said, this game has been fully deconstructed. Like, every bug is basically known and documented.
I guess it just shows how much people love this game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Finally to the gym, so we can get super buff and draw ourselves a 6-pack. That's how it works in this game, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Don't wait there, kid. You still light years from facing Brock. Okay, I don't know why I bothered to read that. That did not give me any insight at all. Junior trainer male. Okay. Specified his gender, I guess.
Well, because there's also girl junior trainers.
Is they the ground type?
Yep.
That's a thing.
Yeah, so your Pikachu will not work.
So Charmander.
Yep.
Go overrated. Ow. And he's faster than Charmander too, so that's good. Great. This is already bad.
Yeah, you might have trouble. I'm having a little bit of trouble and I've got Squirtle.
Oh, you got burned at least, so that's good.
That helps because that will reduce the attack power.
Time to use level 4 Metapod because I don't want to get my Charmander killed. And this thing is useless anyway. Now he's a good thing about Harden. Since he's normal, his move is normal type, I'm just gonna spam it myself, you know, until Burn kills him. I guess, if that's how it works.
it might actually work, yeah. But then you have the Sandshrew afterwards.
Oh man, 1 damage. This is just a stalemate when Burns actually runs out. Please. Please. Come on.
Yeah, the only thing that could kill you first is if you got a crit.
Okay, I think he's dead. Got him.
Nice.
Level 8. Ugh.
Nice. My Kakuna also reached level 8.
I'm assuming he doesn't have normal moves. I think he's just ground moves, right?
Nope, it's still Scratch.
Well, I can't use him anymore, so...
If it faints, it's not like a big deal. So...
Dumb question. If I use Hard or Metapod, right? When does it wear off?
When you switch out. So here's
okay,
here's what I would suggest. Let your Metapod go down, as cruel and heartless as it is to suggest. Switch in Pikachu, and then start growling until the Pikachu goes down, and then switch in your Charmander. Or switch in whatever if you want to still grow your Caterpie, whichever. But then you can get the attack stat down very low before finishing it, because right now your Charmander's not going to do so hot.
I mean, he's halfway dead already, so he's over halfway there. He's 11 HP left, so is Growl really going to work? I think at that point I should probably do Thundershock instead.
No, it does not affect ground Pokemon whatsoever.
Oh, so there's literally... Okay.
Yep.
Accuracy fell. It failed.
That's fine.
That is interesting.
Yeah, Sand Attack is really obnoxious.
He just spams it now. Okay.
Yeah, I don't even think this is a smart AI, it's just an obnoxious AI. There you go. Did you get at least one growl? There you go.
How many growls am I supposed to use on him?
Up to 6. I mean, if you're gonna let the Pikachu go down, I would say just keep going. I'm just trying to think in terms of survival. So the strategy I suggested is something they disencourage in future generations because they add a happiness stat to your Pokemon. If they go down a lot, they become less happy with you, and then certain things are restricted and or weaker.
Well, this will be interesting. I guess Ember.
Yep.
Okay, fingers crossed. Oh, he got burned. That's good, because I can use the other one to just harden constantly. I guess.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can just use Hard, have another Metapod with a higher level, so I guess I can stalemate into death. Doesn't even look like I need to, actually.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't even bother. Get your Charmander level up. Because, yeah, you're gonna have problems against Brock if you... at this point.
I'm not gonna be fighting Brock immediately, that's for sure.
Yep.
That was already brutal, so yeah, that is fun. Is it the only turn up before Brock, or
yep.
Is there another one?
Nope, that's the only one.
Okay. I genuinely enjoyed that I actually got to use Metapod's Harden and it actually had utility.
Yeah, I know, I was like, whoa. Burn stall strats.
That's kind of neat.
I'm actually surprised you got 2 burns. Burn does not proc all that often. I think I forget if that's a 10 or a 30%, but it's, you know, rare enough that you don't see it all that much. It's usually like your Charmander's gonna get strong enough that you just burn things and then they're dead. Like they don't take the burn status, they just take the KO status.
Gotcha. Well, you're told that crits in this game were based on the Pokemon's base speed.
I don't know if it's the base speed, I think it's the actual total speed. So, the faster you are, the more crits there are, I believe. There's like, it modifies it.
That's an interesting concept. I don't know if I necessarily support that, but okay.
Yeah, they changed it in future games. It's kind of ridiculous. What ends up happening, actually, is there are moves that have a higher than normal critical hit rate. And the way the formula works out is that they just almost always crit due to the way that it's calculated. So they're really good moves, actually. Like, Razor Leaf is a top tier attack. Slash is pretty good.
Is it good or is it broken?
It's not broken. It's just good. The thing about critical hits is, I think in this game, they will ignore all buffs and debuffs, which can be both a boon and a bane. So, like, if you're relying on debuffs to win, and then you take a critical hit, that can really ruin your day. But then if someone's, like, using Harden against you, then the critical hit will completely ignore that.
Good to know. I guess Harden isn't just like a scot-free ability now. It's not as broken as I initially thought. Or just say never.
Alright, level 9. I've got 1 more level until Beedrill.
I got 4 more levels till whatever his evolution was, I forgot.
You'll get Butterfree at level 10, but then it's a couple more levels to get Confusion.
So I should stop. I should not evolve until level 12.
No, you can evolve it at level 10.
Okay, good to know.
In fact, I think it has to be a Butterfree to learn it. Like, yeah, these bugs are a little unique in that for most evolution lines, I guess I never mentioned before when you asked about what's the reason to hold an evolution. One reason is because the stats change in the case of Caterpie and Metapod and Weedle and Kakuna. The other reason is you do learn moves slightly faster in an uninvolved state for Pokemon that level up to evolve.
That would apply to Charmander as well, I guess.
Yep. So, like, if you wanted to learn... The thing is, I don't remember specifically if Charmander learns any moves worth learning sooner. I think it might be better just go to Charmeleon. Someone else can give their opinion, because I've used Charmander so little.
Excuse me, but he's like the best Pokemon in the game. How can you say that?
Sorry, were you talking about Squirtle?
Okay, I see what game we're playing now.
Actually, the first Pokemon starter I picked was Bulbasaur, and I have no regrets, because that was easy mode.
Good to know. I guess because of rock types.
Yeah, but once it learns Vine Whip, it demolishes both the first 2 gyms.
Okay.
And also, Bulbasaur is just a cool Pokemon. I don't know why it doesn't get as much love as Squirtle and Charmander.
Because you can consider from a thematic perspective, you have a water turtle, you have a plant, and you have a dragon.
It's a frickin' dinosaur plant.
It still is a plant.
Yeah, but it's a cool plant. It's like this cool looking bulb growing on its back.
I mean, I certainly felt for the same thing. I picked Charmander as a kid because I thought it was cool. That is the only reason I went with.
Oh, that's right, you do have that Bulbasaur remote. Oh, that's from someone who's sitting on the fence. Venus Toys. It sounds like they couldn't decide which one was the cooler Pokemon.
I think out of all the generations, I know the starters of Gen 1 is definitely my favorite trio. I think all the other ones are not as iconic.
Yeah, I would say Gen 2 starters are okay, but it's like anything else. your favorites will be the first ones that you know.
Yeah. Okay. Also, I'm just a massive Charmander fan, which is the main reason why I wanted to pick him. Like I said, before we started the stream, we already agreed on which starter Pokemon we would pick, and I was very adamant about picking Charmander immediately. And it's not because I don't think he's necessarily a good Pokemon. Just merely out of nostalgia. Okay. So far, I'm not regretting making the decision either. It is tough to get past the first gym. I can see that much, but
you'll have an easy time on the 4th gym. You'll have trying to think what the next. Like, I don't know if you get type effectiveness against anything else for gyms, but it's still a solid Pokemon, and technically it becomes a flyer if you want to teach it fly. Wait,
Ooh,
Charizard can learn fly in this game, right? I always forget. There's some weird, like, idiosyncrasies about, like, what Pokemon can learn moves despite other types in this game.
Doesn't Charizard literally have wings, though?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything, because there are some Pokemon that just can't learn fly. It's weird.
Okay.
I think Charizard is not one of them, though.
Can Pidgeot then fly?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so what I'm visualizing when I think of that is I imagine a teenage-sized a man riding a tiny pigeon who's like the size of a tiny bird, right? Excuse me?
Yeah.
How does that work?
I mean, think of it. If you have, like, I realize you can teach it fly at level 2 or whatever, but if you had a level 100 Pidgey, it's really strong, so it should be able to carry a 10-year-old boy's weight plus all his gear, right?
Well, then a Charizard who's like 10 times its size from a real-life perspective cannot carry a teenage boy. Interesting.
Well, I mean, maybe it didn't evolve the balance to properly carry a boy on its back, but no, I'm pretty sure Charizard can learn it in this game.
Okay, good to know. This sounds like an obscure concept to me. That does. One thing makes more sense to me than the other, but like I'm thinking from a real-world perspective, hypothetically, I guess. If Pokemon existed in real life, which one would be more likely to actually fly you somewhere? A tiny bird or a massive dragon?
That's the other weird thing, is that Charizard is a dragon, but it's not dragon type. So so it's classified like the birds because as a flying type, and not as a dragons. And the only dragons are Dratini and Dragonair and Dragonite.
So it needs to have dragon in front of it to be a dragon type. Good to know.
Yeah, well, in this game, yeah.
That is weird.
This is your reminder to save and save often.
I think I already saved, but I can do it again, I guess.
It's a thing that in my family there were, we'll just say, multiple occasions where people were focusing on the game a little much and weren't watching their original Game Boy LED, or not LED, because I guess no, it was an LED, just slowly fade out and like, and then the game would suddenly shut off and be like, oh, I just lost 2 hours, and they were not happy about it.
Oh, I did that many times when I was a kid with the Game Boy SP. To me, like, the problem with saving I have with older generation consoles is that sometimes you have to save twice in a row for them actually to save, because it doesn't always do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's something they do in some of the PAL version games. I think Pokemon was part of that trend, actually. I do remember in Pokemon Red that I did save several times, but it just doesn't work. Because there's some technical problem, I guess, with saving.
I don't remember anything like that, but I wonder if it was a thing in certain versions, or if it's possible for a bad cart to cause that.
I mean, I'm 100% certain that it happens, so yeah, I'm assuming it's either PAL version related or, like you said yourself, maybe it has to do with bad cartridge. We didn't exactly grow up under good conditions, so I'm assuming the games that we did get were probably all used already. So that's the only thing we could probably afford at that time. Well, I guess that's part of that's partially a good thing about emulation, at least, that you don't have those worries, at least.
Yep.
I'm still keen on playing original games over emulation, though, because as much as I like the experience of playing a GBA game on a 50-inch TV screen with a normal controller, I think this probably feels more better with the GBA.
Yeah, it feels a little weird using this like Xbox controller to play Pokemon, to be honest. It just happens to be the only controller that works well with my computer right now. Although I could probably dig up the SNES controller and that one would probably be okay.
The one I'm using is something similar to like a Steam controller. It's like a third-party CXT. It works fine, it just feels a little bit off. Okay. I hope you guys enjoy this content that we're creating right now, by the way, because this is the entire playthrough, probably just me sitting in the same area in the faint hope that eventually we'll get a level up, because I feel like I've been stuck in level 8 for like 20 minutes now. Ooh.
I'm having better, like, Viridian Forest. I don't know, like, they were saying there was some tiles that don't have encounters on them. I've been using the patch outside of the forest. The only good thing about going into the forest is getting the Metapods or Kakunas, I think.
I've been starting to use the patch outside of the forest, but like, the thing is, the monsters just don't seem worth it compared to the Metapod experience. Because I can just use Ember and one-shot them after all, right? So I feel like for me specifically, it's more worth it.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah. But I can definitely tell there's some bugs going on with like the spawn rate and Viridian. Because like, there are moments where I do just run around for like a minute in the grass in the hope of getting a random encounter.
Yeah, the encounter rate, I think, is not as high, but I don't know that for sure.
You know, in most settings, I would actually enjoy that a lot more. In this one, it's a little bit inconvenient.
Well, I think I think it's probably good design overall, because they force you to walk through places where you can't avoid the grass.
I think overall, for its time, this game was really well designed, even with all its flaws included, right? Because I know a lot of RPGs from that era that were just a lot more insufferable or worse. Specifically, Revenge Encounters. Final Fantasy being an example.
Like from the very start, the route 2 between Pallet Town and where's that Route 1? Between Pallet Town and Viridian City. On the way there, you have to go through some grass, but on the way back, they give you a way to completely avoid all the grass, which is pretty cool.
How does that work? Is it like a one-way exit or?
Yeah, if you go downhill on those ledges, certain ledges, they let you like jump, but you can't go uphill on them.
Interesting perspective to take, I guess.
Let's go Weedle with a crit, doing half of Rattata's HP. Ooh, we're gonna have flawless victory. Let's go.
Level 9. Ooh. Getting there. Just one more level till an evolution happens. And then it'll be even harder to level up.
Yep. Because not only will you get less experience per encounter, you'll take longer, but at least you'll be able to kill stuff on your own a little bit.
Yeah. Do the stats increase if you have an evolution, or is it still the same stats all around?
I think every evolution's the stats always go up. With the exception of like Metapod and Kakuna, where your attack goes down, and maybe certain Pokemon get slower, but I think that's more of a thing they do in later generations, where some of the Pokemon might get like more transformations rather than pure upgrades.
How do you guys like use the Xbox controller on Windows? It's just via USB port?
Yep.
Okay, maybe I should switch to that as well. From what I'm seeing on chat, it's just apparently the de facto way of playing this game. Or playing any game on PC, really.
I've only had like bad or worse controllers as alternatives, and just like the Xbox one just works, which is nice. I've actually gotten the Nintendo Switch Pro controller hooked up, and that works okay, but then I have to keep repairing it to my Nintendo Switch separately, so it's a little annoying.
I mean, personally, that's what I really want. I want to use the Joy-Cons as my replacement USB controller for PC. Having the proper drift experience, you know, so I can can just hold the button exactly in one position, and I don't have to hold the controller. It will just move automatically by itself.
Yeah, I don't remember. Well, I know people have a lot of issues with drift, and I did too, but I was able to solve mine just using some cleaner. So I wonder if I didn't get as bad of a case as other people, or if other people don't know about just using some cleaner.
I'm assuming it's just that you're lucky, because I feel like that's such an obvious solution that someone would have thought of it already at that point, right? Or at least they would have been like more well known.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's. I wouldn't know. I don't know if I'd say it's obvious, but yeah, it was really simple. Like if you're not afraid to spray some stuff in your controller, know what you're doing, not overdo it.
I mean, it's the other alternative is buying new Joy-Cons, which is like how much again? $30 to $60 depending on where you live.
I think it's like $80. I think it might be $80 for the pair.
Ooh.
It might be $70.
So, I mean, I feel like at this point, the alternative of just buying new Joy-Cons is just that expensive that if that was just a solution that would always work, people would just know about it.
Oh, I missed that comment from.
It.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, if it's that expensive compared to just buying contact cleaners, right? I feel like it would have been known at that point.
Yeah, and people have suggested it, like, and I think in most places Nintendo does give a like free repair program, but I always look at it like, okay, the time and energy to ship something off to Nintendo and wait and not have your Joy-Cons compared to just like doing a do-it-yourself fix doesn't seem worth it to me. So at least in my case, I'm happy I was able to fix it myself. Yeah, that stuff also did wonders for cleaning up an old Wavebird controller I had. That I don't remember if it was drift issues, but it was something weird with the control stick. And I applied some of that, and no more problems. It's like new. I missed your comment, Unicyclic, about your sister pressing the reset combo, which I guess would be a good trick on the Game Boy, but I guess I can understand how that could happen. You were like ripping it funny.
Ibuprofen. I've not heard of that one. Okay.
What was that?
Nothing, I'm just reading chat and just being a little confused. Oh well.
Oh, ibuprofen is Advil. If you've heard of that.
Can't say I have, sadly.
It's just a common pain reliever.
Oh, okay. So like the equivalent of Panadol of what falls, I guess. Panadol is what we use over here instead.
Yeah, for us, the two bigger ones are Tylenol and Advil, which are acetaminophen and ibuprofen. But yeah, it's probably under some other brand in Europe.
What is a strong painkiller called again that is also a drug? Heroin?
Yeah, that's a controlled substance in America.
Yeah.
Probably in Denmark too, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Unless you have a medical prescription, you're not gonna get that for good reason.
I don't think you can get a prescription for it in America.
In Denmark you can, because morphine contains a slight amount of like heroin falls.
Yeah, I think you can. I think you can. Well, yeah, like morphine. Like, yeah, if you're in a hospital, you'll be given that, but I don't think you get a prescription for it.
Oh my! I can say that in our country, it's at least definitely a prescription. I can say that much because my father uses it, and I had circumstances with my back pain where I also was prescribed using it, but it messes too much with my mind, so I'm not using it.
Only 40 more experience points here.
Oof. Dustin, on TV it said someone was stealing waste baskets, and I know it was you. Why did you do that? The answer is very simple, my friend. I felt like it. Problem solved.
I'm gonna remember this one when you encounter actual waste baskets later in the game.
Waste baskets?
Yep.
Is that a thing?
It is a thing.
Is this Earthbound?
Sort of.
Okay. I guess I'll learn something. I'm surprised how easy Charmander has it with leveling up in contrast to like Metapod, because I've been using Metapod for so damn long at this point, and Charmander is at level 11.
Yeah, different Pokemon have different experience curves. I don't know what any of them are off the top of my head. I thought Metapod was supposed to grow fast, but maybe not.
Read attack defense. You cannot see when it levels up. Okay.
Press A.
Next experience points level up 191. Oh, it's already level 10?
That's 2 level 10.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, this is like weird UI, okay. But why were you stealing the wastebasket itself instead of the content? It's simple because I thought it looked nice. Okay. This is just riveting. We were speaking about Joy-Cons in the Switch a little bit earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is your opinion of the OLED edition of the Switch?
I'm sure it's fine, but I have no interest in it.
So you're not gonna buy it?
No. I don't need a second Switch. I appreciate that I can move my one Switch around wherever I need it. I mean, and I actually do use it in 3 locations. I use it in my front room with my big TV. I use it right here in my stream setup, and I use it on my patio outside, undocked. So it's great.
I think I was just scared of the bigger screen, honestly, and the fact that then I can give the Switch to someone else instead that I already own. But yeah, from my perspective, what I saw in the trailer, this is like, I will agree with what the majority says, that the changes, while noticeable, there's not much of it, so it's not really enough of an incentive to buy a new Switch for it, you know? My key complaint is just, I wish they would talk about the battery life, because that's the main problem I have with the normal Switch, that if I do take it with me to, like, either to work or, like, somewhere where I need to wait, right? I can play the Switch I currently have for 3 hours with Monster Hunter. I would prefer having either, like, a charge station pre-installed or something that extends the battery life a little bit. But currently we don't have that here in Denmark, at least.
You don't have portable.
So, yeah.
You don't have portable battery pack things.
I don't know why, but in Denmark it's either not permitted or I guess they just don't sell it really. I have to order via Amazon and then I have to pay for shipping fees, which can get expensive.
Yeah, no, those can be a good investment, but I did guess I don't really have one myself. The only one I have is like for starting my car, and it can be used for anything else, but it's a little overkill to haul that thing around. You can mark off Beedrill for me.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can probably just take out Brock.
I guess Beedrill is the middle one.
Yeah, it's
beneath.
It's right next to Kakuna, right underneath Charmeleon.
Yeah.
No, that's one thing they did right in this game is they didn't make these things alphabetical. They make it so the evolutionary lines are all in a sequence.
Yeah, that's probably a little more convenient, so it's easier to click off. Okay. 23 experience. Well, did you use the fast forwarding tool yet?
Nope.
I'm impressed that you got the level so much faster than me, because I thought I started earlier than you.
I think Weedle and Kakuna might have an edge over Caterpie.
Could be. I'm surprised by the abundance of metapods I'm meeting. This is a lot more common than I expected. Not that I'm complaining about that. It's nice that it's that way. This makes it easier to level up.
Yeah, exactly. I guess I'll does chat want me to focus on anyone in particular? I'll just level until you're ready to take on Brock, because I think I can take on Brock. I guess I could get level 11, though, to get Water Gun. Or is that level 14? I think it's only 12.
Isn't Water weak against Rock, by the way, as well?
Water's good against Rock and Ground, so Water Gun's really good against Brock.
How does that work? Okay.
Cause something about
water, I guess.
Yeah, something about how rocks get smoothed down by rivers or whatever.
It's like, once again, when we get into these types of debate, how it works in real life, right? It's just like with lightning. I feel like rock is also just extremely overpowered because there's nothing that can really damage it. Aside from maybe like what makes sense to me, brute force like normal type moves.
Oh, I see why it's going slower for you, so you're not pressing A while you talk.
I don't always do that.
Oh,
I
okay.
was focusing.
Okay, I got you. I'm just giving you crap.
I'm just
mean-
mentioning a hypothetical and entertaining the notion of that.
I mean, water as a quote-unquote type that is, like, non-physical is a little bit absurd when you think about it. It's like, why would water be very more effective than anything else, except for maybe the properties of it being a liquid?
Yeah, it's the same with grass. How useful is grass from a fighting perspective? It's not like it really can do anything there.
Well, look, they just wanted to have more things than just normal type and fire type.
That is understandable. I think that's also just more unique that way.
I mean,
So
they did their best. They did their best to make like 15 or so types that would make a distinct set of like combinations, and they did an okay job. And it's kind of been a mess, but it's been a manageable mess, and it's unique. But like even Final Fantasy has like the same thing, right? Where there's like so many elements, and then you're like, okay, but why is water like different than ice in such a significant way? I guess that's true in this game too.
I feel like the weird thing with Final Fantasy is there's less an emphasis on the elemental advantages, whereas this game seems like all about it, really. I mean, you know, this game is a lot more... Even though it's on a base level more simplistic than Final Fantasy with the combat, right? There's a lot more emphasis on like elemental advantage than there is with Final Fantasy. I feel like with Final Fantasy, even if you have a disadvantage elemental-wise, you can still just use the same technique and be fine. Unless they fully nullify it.
Right. And the Final Fantasy is like, in a way, Pokemon on steroids is that maybe type advantage does not matter a lot, but when it does, it matters a lot. Like sometimes it's like, oh, you're weak to fire, so definitely use that. And definitely don't use anything else.
Damn these Weedles, why do I need to constantly get poisoned?
Oh yeah, that's the other thing too, is that's probably slowing you down because I can't get poisoned as Weedle. Or Kakuna.
I mean, it's the first time I got poisoned with my Metapod, so I'm fortunate there, but it's just annoying that whenever I encounter Beedrill, that just needs to happen. Is it like a 100% ratio of just getting hit with it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Poison Sting might not have a... I think it might be 100%. It's certainly better than Tackle. And I think Tackle's only 95%, so it probably is 100. If it does have a miss rate, it's only 5%.
Yeah. I'm slowly approaching a level up, I guess. I'm not anywhere near close to fighting Brock yet, though. So, Are you currently just grinding extra levels?
Yeah, I'm just gonna get Water Gun on Squirtle.
Okay. Did you do when you were children? Did you do this as well, or is that just like something you're doing for stream perspective, just being a little bit more casual?
I never did like. Well, maybe one time I went out of my way to get like all 151, or I guess it was only 150. I didn't know or care about Mew at that time. But I don't think I like. I think it was more of like at my base. I don't remember if I like started a game or if I just like decided eventually I'll go back and get all the other Pokemon and used a brother or sister card to do all the trades I needed to do.
I think if I was more into Pokemon as a kid, I would have probably gone with that theme though of catching all the Pokemons, because since a very early age, I always had this mentality of, if I own a game, I want to see everything it has to offer, right? So I have a kind of completionist mentality with most of the games I play.
Yeah, well, spoiler alert, there's not that much exciting from beating this game, or completing the Pokedex. They give you a pat on the back.
Okay, I mean, from my perspective, I don't really care about a reward for completing the game. I care more about the journey, really.
Yeah.
If the journey itself is satisfying, then I don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, the journey is no doubt a little tedious, but there's something to be said for doing it.
I think as from a streaming perspective, I think it's just an interesting premise to just play all the generations like this. in this setting. Because it's a different way of experiencing Pokemon, and it's nice that you don't have to actually collect all 151 Pokemons yourself.
Yep. That was the idea, is like, you know, you could do a fully purist run where like you yourself catch all the Pokemon and use all legitimate games. Streaming it would be a little difficult, but you could pull it off, depending on how legitimate you want it to be. But I didn't want to take that much time and do it solo. I think this is way more interesting to divide up the work and then talk about our different experiences, like me being more of a veteran and you being more of a newbie with the franchise.
There's certainly an interesting contrast going on. I mean, you can already tell from the very beginning we played this game, I already pretty much have no direction for what I'm doing.
I guess Water Gun is... Sorry, I was going to say, I guess Water Gun is level 14, or at least 13, because I don't have it yet.
Oof.
But I'll just fight Brock when you're ready to fight Brock.
Hard for me to say, sadly. I think I'll still wait on the fact until I have Confused, which is 3 levels on Metapod, so... it might take a while.
How close are you to 10?
Is Confused level 10 as well, though?
No, I'm just saying, once you become Butterfree, it should speed up, because you'll not be so weak anymore.
I guess. I enjoy that the one Pokemon that has a name in my team currently is the one I use the most, and it's also named Overrated. Just a nice theme, really.
Yes, I've got Lead the Beedrill, I've got Juice the Squirtle, and Normal Chew the Rattata. And then just a random Pidgey.
Yeah, and I've got a Caterpie who's Metapod by accident. Not Overrated. And then another Metapod because you can't just have one.
Oh, it's Caterpie without the E. Nice.
Because you told me just to press start and I did. And I thought it would default the name.
I said if you don't type in a name, you can just press start.
Okay. Is it Caterpie technically because there's an E at the end?
Nope. English is weird.
Okay, so both are technically just Caterpie.
No, the way you spelled it, I would pronounce that Caterpie. It could be Caterpie though, because English is weird.
Okay.
Because I'd look at that and think, pi like the numerical ratio.
Like I go off I associate words with different words, right? So if I separate them into Cater and Pie, right? I think of a pie like that you bake, right?
Oh yeah,
That's why I would call it Cater Pie.
You're not wrong, and then and Unicyclic points out Magpie. I just know that in the anime they pronounce it Caterpie, so I've always pronounced it Caterpie.
It's just a weird perception thing, I guess. But then again, it's a names, and names just usually bend all the rules when it comes to pronunciations. I know mine does as well. In my German pronunciation of my name, you say Dustin with an A, but it's spelled by U.
Interesting.
So yeah. So I can at least see where they're coming from with this. It's just an obscure thing to me. Because if anyone asked me to spell Caterpie, I think I would not know that there's an E in it. At least if I had no idea of like the Pokemon, you know.
Yeah. Well, like I said, English is weird.
Do you know any secondary languages, or is English the only language you speak?
Hablo un poco de español, but I haven't really studied it since high school.
I was somewhat fluently saying I speak a little Spanish.
Yep. Or should I say, sí.
Sí, señor. ¿Cómo estás?
Más o menos.
I speak a very little bit of Spanish as well. I know the essentials, which is to say just one key sentence. Una cerveza, por favor.
One beer, please.
Yeah. Have you ever been in Spain?
Nope.
It is an extremely hot weather in Spain, so just having an idea of what beverage you would like to order helps a lot there. So that's something I picked up really fast. because it's impossible to deal with the weather. And they know that because everything is overpriced in Spain. I've looked at a quart that was $10. It was not even a liter. It's one of those classical soda cans because it's a popular tourist attraction.
Yeah, makes sense. I've
Yeah.
never been to Spain or any Spanish-speaking country, but I was in Italy for a couple weeks once, and it is interesting, like, not being a fluent Spanish speaker, I could still kind of understand some things, because Italian's sort of similar sometimes.
I mean, it's the same with Scandinavian languages, because even though we don't use the exact same words, sometimes the pronunciation is similar, or there's 1-2 words that you can make out, and you can kind of figure out the rest of the sentence from that, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's why I like learning a second language, even just a little bit. I think is probably a very good thing to do, because it gives you it makes you think about things in a different way on like what the meaning of things is, and you can understand. Like I don't really understand almost any language at all coming out of Asia, but like German is similar enough to English that sometimes there's a word that sticks out and you'd be like, oh, they're talking about this kind of thing. And that can give you some context to figure out what they're talking about if you plug it into a translator.
Deutsch ist ein seltsames Exempel, aber okay.
What was that?
I said German is an odd example, but okay. I just said it in German.
Oh.
Remember, I'm half German, so yeah.
Yep.
Hey, my Caterpie is evolving.
Nice.
Sorry, Caterpie.
So yeah, check your attack stat afterwards, and it should be a lot better.
Butterfree. At least the pronunciation is very obvious for that one. I don't feel like there's any way of misspelling or missaying that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As far as languages are concerned from my end, I can definitely agree that if you learn a new language, right, my key advice would be learn it from a certain region instead of focusing on something similar. It's like if you learn Danish, by default that will mean you'll have a good understanding for Swedish and Norwegian as well, because the structure is roughly the same, and some of the words are the exact same, right? So that's my advice, because I speak 3 different languages, right, and they all have kind of similarities a little bit here and there, but they're just different enough so I can make out other languages with it. Like, I understand Austrian, because German-Austrian is very similar.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. That's my key advice to anyone who wants to like pick up new languages. Don't pick another language that is very similar to English, because it won't do you that many favors, really. Pick something that is very different. Maybe it'll be harder to learn, but you get more from it. Which is also why I think if you learn an Asian language, like let's say Chinese or Japan, it's not the exact same thing, mind you, but I think at least as long as you know either one, you probably get a concept for the other one with it. You know?
For
That's
sure.
an assumption. Yeah. Stats, right.
Like even if it doesn't, yeah, even if it doesn't give you anything directly, like it's just about changing the way you think about things.
Mm.
Yeah,
The stats doesn't seem too terribly different.
I bet that attack stat's the way higher. That's almost what I have in my Squirtle, so you should be able to tackle things with no problem now.
I guess I can go for Brock now.
I don't know about that, but you can at least level it without switching out.
I guess, yeah. Guess we'll give it a whirl. I actually have to click it off as well while I'm at it. Okay. I keep resizing the window and now it's getting it again because I don't like it filling the entire screen. It's a pet peeve, I guess. Ugh. Good.
I think I should go back to Viridian Forest. Because yeah, if I can get more Kakunas, that's going to be faster than fighting these Pidgeys.
You know what's fantastic? So I got my what is she called? Butterfree, I guess? The first Pokemon I encounter with it is Metapod. So this is literally just gonna be another of those fights where it's just gonna keep spamming hard and I won't win the fight because of it.
No, you can win.
It just takes long.
If you got so much power now, it's not a concern.
It was still 5 hits, it's still a decent amount of time.
It is. But it's not 15.
I guess, yeah. Ugh. I think the real challenge I want to see in Pokemon personally is I want to see what is his name again? Catapult? Metapod. I want to see a Metapod versus Metapod stare down. That's the real challenge. For real men. To see who blinks first. Which probably is neither one, because they never stop him.
I think what would happen is... So the thing is, in this game, you can run out of PP on your moves, but enemy Pokemon cannot. So what would happen is you would eventually use Struggle, and you would win if you had more HP, because you would do 1 damage, and then take 1 damage recoil.
Okay. That's an interesting premise to me, I guess. Oof. How long would it take to get to that point, though?
I think Harden has 40 uses, so a while.
Oh. I've been getting 3 Metapods in a row now.
Yeah, I don't think they're as uncommon as I thought. I just was really surprised before because of... I wasn't used to seeing Cocoon. I was like, what is this? That's because I'm not used to playing Pokemon Red. Hey, you got a...
Thank you very much for the raid, buddy. How did your stream go? No PP left for the move. Perfect timing. I guess I get to use Spring Shot.
And this is where you swap.
Yeah, I can't even... doesn't do anything. I knew that I'm a Pokemon expert. I have all the educational skills I need to win this game, clearly. Hence why my strongest Pokemon is a Butterfly.
No, it's a fire lizard.
But I can't use the fire lizard right now.
Why not?
Because he's not good for Brock.
You'll still... You could have been spending your time leveling your Butterfree, also leveling your Charmander just to brute force it, and it probably would be the same outcome. But it's fine. Like, confusion, both Pokemon are fine. But this way we got some Pokedex entries out of the way, so it's cool for that.
In one situation, I'd imagine with like what is his name? Charmander is, or is it Charmander? I think it's Charmander. Yeah, is that I get into the fight, Brock just throws a rock at him, he dies immediately.
Yeah, fortunately not in Gen 1, but I think in Gen 3 you might. Gen 2 for sure.
Gen 3, is that the one that's Fire Red?
Yep.
Or what is Gen 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is the game where like there are like rock moves, but I don't think Geodude learns it until a higher level. And Onyx, same thing. I think, yeah, Brock's gym is weird because the one trainer in it only uses ground Pokemon, and then Brock himself doesn't have any rock moves.
Okay. What is his gym oriented for? Like rock Pokemon?
Yeah, he's supposed to be Brock the rock trainer.
And he doesn't have any rock moves.
Doesn't have any rock moves. The TM that he gives you is not even a rock move. It's just a normal counterattack move.
I guess that's just perfect irony then.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking.
Is that a consistent thing with other gyms as well?
No,
is that just...
the second gyms. Second, third, fourth gym are pretty straight. It gets a little weird in the Psychic gym, it gets a little weird in the Poison gym. Because they were definitely having some identity issues with certain Pokemon. The Fire gym, also a little bit weird because there's like randomly, I think, some Poison Pokemon mixed in that don't use Fire.
So now a question, if you use a Fire move on a Fire Pokemon, would it do any damage at all actually?
It would. It just would be not very effective.
Okay, so like if the moment I would get to the Fire gym and my Charizard will probably be the strongest Pokemon at that point, won't really do that much. At least not with Fire type moves.
Yeah, you'll have Slash though, which is very good.
Okay.
Okay, so it is level 14 for a Water Gun.
This is the perfect start of me playing Pokemon again after 15, 16 years, you guys. This is exactly the type of experience I've been waiting for. Metapods and Harden.
Yeah,
never stop.
Whoever suggested getting level 12 Butterfree, just remember you asked for this.
I think it was either you or Nightmare, actually.
It wasn't me, I just concurred. I said I confirmed that is a thing.
You persuaded me into thinking otherwise. I blame you partially for this.
I said it would take a while, and I was not wrong. I'm going to finally move Bubble up to the beginning of my menu here. The pain will be worth it. That, you know what, that is true. Once you get Confusion, you'll be able to coast on that for a while. Until someone tells you to bench your Butterfree.
For reference, for people who are maybe a little bit sacrifice blind, I'm for the most part joking. Even though this is very repetitive, this is really relaxing, so... Like I said before, as long as the grinding process is not too tedious, I don't really mind. Even if it takes longer. I'm surprised I'm enjoying it this much, actually, because from my own personal perspective, there's nothing to this really. It's just go in and out of Viridian Forest when you run out of moves, and that's it. That's the entire process.
You don't have to ditch Butterfree.
You know, that's exactly what I said to Dali, actually. That's the one Pokemon I know that is really good in this generation, right? So I said if we don't share the same Pokemon, I'm gonna call dibs on Abra. Because that's the one Pokemon I actually remember using in Pokemon Red, right?
Yeah,
I just remember spending hours on end trying to catch an Abra and he just kept teleporting away.
Yeah,
it's one of the few memories I have.
Yeah, it's just one of those, like, you get lucky and then you have to train it up to evolve into Kadabra, or I forget if it gets Confusion before it evolves, but it's a little useless at first and then it becomes amazing.
Is it like a meta part of this that does it just have teleport? Is that the only move?
Yeah, initially that's all it has.
Fantastic. Can you use teleport on the field? Or is that just
Yeah, I believe if you teleport, as long as you're like not in a dungeon, but it will be the same. It will just take you back to the last Pokemon Center. So it's a nice move, but usually just used on a utility Pokemon, not for battling, because it doesn't do anything in battle. Only wild Pokemon battles.
Does it still fill a slot though?
Yes.
That is very annoying.
Yep. Oh, I mean, and the reality is in these, like, up until the most recent Pokemon games, you have to use utility moves in place of your slots, so there will just be some Pokemon that, like, you might just give all of the HM moves to. Like, Cut is an okay move, but it's not a long-term good move. But it's one you need to progress a little bit through the game.
Gotcha. Are there any, like, moves that are enforced upon you for progression, or are all of them optional?
Everything's optional, except for you have to just put the HM move on some Pokemon.
The only thing I ever remember from being enforced is like these weird segments like the Snorlax where you need the Poké Fruits to like deal with him.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't need a dedicated HM user. That's generally the most optimal way to do it. And there are certain Pokemon that can use just 4 HMs and they're nice to have. But on the other hand, Surf, Strength, and Fly are all perfectly fine moves. They might not be the best moves. Surf is pretty solid though.
I think Fly, from what I remember, sounds good. Isn't it like where they just like fly for one turn and the next turn they actually attack with it?
Yep, so it's not like a speedy move, but it's solid.
I mean, it's a good counter attack because it enforces people on the other side to waste a turn, essentially, on nothing.
Right, but that doesn't count for much, unless they're poisoned.
Poison, burned, or anything really of the paralyze.
With Charmander's same type of attack bonus, Ember's easiest way to deal with Brock. That's Unicyclic's advice to you. So once you get Confusion, like, you shouldn't have any problems, but Ember also would work. Surf to win, though I agree. And you can put Surf on a lot of weird Pokemon. And Water is just a solid type for attacking, because not a lot of things resist it. And a lot of Pokemon can learn Surf that aren't Water Pokemon, so it's pretty nice.
You know, when I think of Surf as an attack, I just imagine someone sitting on a surfboard and riding a wave. I'm not thinking, how's that actually an attack? I'm thinking too little, I know. I can see utility in flying as a fighting attack, but Surf sounds a little odd to me.
So, Raccoon Mario, what we're trying to do is get Butterfree to level 12 so that he learns Confusion, which is a Psychic type move, and it will completely topple Rock's physical-based Pokemon because Psychic types are special moves in this game.
Won't Caterpie be just in general really good for everything in this game actually?
Yeah,
That's
if you
just
want to,
having
if
one
you end
type
up using Butterfree long term, you'll be perfectly fine. Like I don't know if it was my first party, but I've definitely had Butterfree go to the Elite Four, and you eventually get an upgraded to Confusion called Psybeam, and I've definitely just had a Butterfree that swept the Elite Four with Psybeam basically.
Psybeam doesn't have like many uses though, does it? Is it like 5 or 10?
Psybeam is 20, but there's yet another stronger move called Psychic, weirdly enough, that has only 10.
Okay, that's the one I'm thinking of.
And then, oh geez, 5 experience, yeah. So the experience scaling is starting to hit me at level 13, or it's like, yeah, fighting a level 3 Pokemon's hardly even worth the time because it only gives 5 experience.
It means you only need to fight 40 enemies roughly to get a level up. What a steal.
Let's see what this Kakuna does.
I'm confused, it's been so long since I went to focus on it, now I don't remember what it was. Whoopsin. Bad news. I knew that. Probably.
Oh, that's the other thing is, yeah, Butterfree learns Sleep Powder and Stun Spore. So you can more easily catch Pokemon that way.
Hopefully I'm back now fully, because I can see at least it's running on my stream again.
Yep, I can see. I see your stream.
Okay. One of my annoyance is now that I know that it will like turn this into a separate ward now. I don't like when it does that. I wish Twitch would give me the utility to actually match like wards together again if they've been separated.
There's a feature you can turn on where it will actually like cause the VOD to stay as one, and it just shows like the not like this emote for the time that you were down.
Okay.
But I think you have to turn it on. I don't remember what the setting is called, but go fiddle with your settings sometime and you'll find it.
Probably. It sounds like in general this is very useful because I don't like the idea of like now if my internet becomes unstable that'll just create 10 different wards at the length of 10-20 minutes, you know.
This is also why I'm doing the local recording. Although that wouldn't help me if OBS crashed.
Yeah. I thought you did the local recording mainly because of YouTube, really.
You can go from Twitch to YouTube directly. But I think what I'm going to do is, because a lot of this is grinding, if I do put this on YouTube, I'll cut out a lot of it. Because right now it's like 2.5 hours, and then like an hour and a half of it is just grinding.
Yeah. That's how you can tell you're playing an old turn-based RPG.
Yeah, and I think with the experience scaling, like, it's not doing us any favors. That might be one I revisit to make it more like the others. Right now we're like, I guess what I did was took the black and white experience formula, but I gave it the classic coefficient for dividing, which means it's just slower. I might just go... I'll run some numbers and say, like, eventually it's going to be too hard to grind or too tedious to grind, and we'll bump up the experience back to Gen 5 levels, or just go back to classic. Oh, I found a Pikachu, but I think we're just going to let it go. Because you have it.
I think at some point I should probably get back to actually capturing Pokémon, because at this point the levels are just getting so vast that I will probably one-shot everything.
Oh, you still get 41 experience, nice.
I got one more level up after this, so yeah. How many battles will that be? Let's check. Just gotta level up.
I got back-to-back Pikachus. I think the game's trying to tell me something.
366, it doesn't sound like so much, but it feels like it's taking forever, really.
Oh, wow, I just one-shot it. And that was unexpected.
You guys. Ooh, Pikachu, you did not deserve that. You can't just do that, Dad. That's animal abuse, don't you know?
I was actually going to try to catch it because it was like a sign that the game gave me Pikachu back-to-back. but it wasn't meant to be. Apparently my tackle is stronger than my bubble.
It was a divine message sent from the gods themselves. But you should have this Pikachu, or 2, or 5.
I like to imagine it was the same Pikachu and it was just very persistent and it like got knocked down and I was like, no.
Aww. That kinda makes me sad.
No, it's okay. No Pokemon were harmed in the making of this series. Except for the small temporary harm that we're inflicting on them.
It's fine that we're destroying nature because we're also saving it. Just ignore that we really aren't. Okay. But yeah. Something I would like to entertain as an idea in the future is maybe try to make a team of the same Pokemon, just all the same Pokemon, and see if you can actually make that work. I think that would be probably extremely tedious, but it sounds cool in concept.
But you mean like give them different moves? Or yeah, it's probably been done. Some Pokemon obviously it'd be easier to do that with than others.
The easiest I can imagine is probably Ditto because of the copy ability.
Alright, Pikachu number 3. Let's see if we can catch it.
Okay.
I'm only gonna use one Pokeball on it.
Oh. If I was playing this as a kid, right? I would have revisited as a kid again. I would never use Caterpie because it's a butterfly. I think I would have never brought it up with Mark types at all.
Yeah, for me it was the opposite because Butterfree was really powerful in the anime, so I wanted to get a Butterfree in game. You can mark off Pikachu for me now.
I guess yours was inspired from the anime. I think for me it's just merely set on the appearance because it's the only thing I really knew about Pokemon at the time. I watched a little bit of the anime, but not much. I watched enough of it to know that Charizard is my favorite Pokemon, and to know that that's a very common thing.
Yeah, the anime definitely overhypes Charizard, so it's an appropriate nickname you've got there. Alright, any names for Pikachu?
I mean, to be fair, Charizard is the only Pokemon that's actually a unique personality in the anime, because it's the only one that actually doesn't behave, which is an actual mechanic in the game.
It is, and it isn't, because in this game, Pokemon will always obey you unless they were traded from somebody else. But you can.
Wasn't that this thing of?
I mean, so like it's based on the badges. So if you get 2 badges, Pokemon up to level 30 will obey you unless you're the original trainer.
What will specifically happen if they don't obey? Is this just that they won't do anything then?
I think it's a random chance between using a different move and came in too late. Unicyclic. Well, I'll remember that one though. It's a random chance between just not taking their turn at all. It's like skipping their turn and then using a different move.
Interesting. I wonder what the idea behind it is. I guess it's because it didn't want to just group level 1 Pokemon. But that doesn't really make much sense, because if you have one Pokemon that is overleveled and everything else is like normal, right? It isn't really that good either.
Well, basically, it's kind of like anti-twinking. So, like, if you trade on level 100 Pokemon, it's not going to be as reliable. Basically, is what it is. What's the trainer name? Daily. Welcome in, Justin. And Jure.
Oh man. We're getting multiple people with the same name. This is gonna be confusing now.
You know, there's already... Yeah, and then there's Nix and Dustin. You imagine how confusing it is whenever people talk about things that are similar but not actually talking about me.
I mean, the thing is, for me specifically, it's an uncommon thing, because in Denmark, my name is very rare. Any variation of my name is actually very rare in Denmark. I'm the 14th one in 100 years to be named that way in Denmark.
I'm surprised that's a statistic that's readily available, but that's cool.
That's because we have, when we get born, there's a thing in Denmark that you have a unilogin attached to your name, right? Which is 4 numbers, and then your name. And then from that numbers, you can tell how many people had these names before you. So yeah, I'm the 14th one.
Cool.
And then if I go to Britain, then I would be 1 out of maybe a million. You know?
Yeah, Dustin is way more common in America. Like, it's not super common in America, but it's certainly an unknown name. I would say Justin is more common, but it's not a super common name either. It's common enough.
Let's see. Usually when I associate a name with popularity or of how many people have the name, I think of celebrities really as a first thought. How many celebrities have the same name? That's part of the way I associate it for some reason.
Well, and what's interesting is that when a celebrity has a name, then that name becomes more popular, typically.
Yeah, because people name their children after them.
Well, and maybe not after them, but they just say like, oh, that's it's a not unusual name because a celebrity had it.
Arnold is such a pleasant sounding name. I'm gonna name my daughter Arnold now.
There's an exception to every rule.
It would not surprise me if that's something people have actually done, because people probably have done everything at this point. Ugh. I just know I wouldn't. To each their own, really, but like, I wouldn't.
How close are you to level 12?
I think 250 experience away, roughly. That's like a rough head count at this point. You can check.
Okay, I'm almost at 14.
Started at 400. Last time I checked, it started at 400 experience, so 220. I was close.
Not bad.
Yeah. Since I've been getting an abundance of metapods, I think we'll be fine. I'm assuming probably a second detour to like Viridian Force, and then I'll have it. That's my assumption right now. Did you get your new Squirtle ability?
Nope. I got like 60 more experience. Oh, yeah, this is the save and save often reminder.
Oh yeah. It's been some time since the last save, so it might as well. Even though I know the importance of saving, I underutilize it really, which is a really bad misfortune when it starts crashing.
Yeah, kids these days are spoiled by automatic saves on their Microsoft Words and their clouds. Back in my day, saved our documents to floppy disks, and we were lucky to remember to do that, and then luckier if the floppy disk didn't fail.
I'm happy I exactly grew up in the generation that isn't floppy disk, and actually at convenient format like CD and USB. Ugh.
Whoa. Gunblade Lad, rating of 23. Welcome in, everybody. How's it going, man? What have you been up to?
Someone's doing well, I can tell.
Welcome to the Catch-em-all challenge that we just started between Dustin and I today. You caught us in the middle of... Well, actually, we're at the tail end of some grinding to face Brock. Dustin's got a Butterfree that he's training up, and I decided I would go get water gunning while we wait. Things are going well. Hope things are going well for you. Is it, like you said, Dustin, I think you've been finding this really relaxing, even if it's a little tedious, and I'm also just kind of learning things, or really relearning things about the game, and we've been just kind of explaining things that are just Pokemon trivia, really. But Dustin, you don't have a ton of experience with the game, so it's been a good conversation, I think.
I mean, so far we haven't like broken down the pacing, which is nice. That is surprising to me, because it feels like we've been at this for a while now.
Yeah, it has only been 2.5 hours. It's crazy. But I mean, that's good. I guess, like, I would rather it not be like 5 hours and they're like, oh, we're only level 13.
That's the thing I'm trying to wrap my head around. It feels like I've been at this for longer, but the fact that it's only 2.5 hours at least means that when the water's left behind, people don't have to watch up on so much. Because there are a couple of people actually check out the recordings, right? Ugh.
Well, I appreciate it, Gunblade. Sorry, Go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt.
I wasn't saying anything essential, so it's fine. After this, you'll have to level up Pikachu for the next gym. What is the next gym in type?
Water.
Oh.
You don't strictly have to switch to Pikachu though. Like your Butterfree would do okay. The problem is that Misty, the gym trainer, has Starmie, which is a psychic type, so it would resist confusion.
So I would probably just brute force of Caterpie then at that point, or Caterpie.
You could.
Normal attacks.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Gunblade, but as Dre says, this is definitely PSO. As you can see, there's the turtle monster tackling the thing over there. Like, that's the thing that happens in PSO. Oh yeah, it's a Booma on 4 legs.
Exactly. And I just have a casual dragon as my pet. Just like in PSO.
That's like the nano dragon.
Technically, I can kind of see that the resemblance a little bit. not in appearance, mind you, but in the way they work. Because if they evolve, they get bigger, right? Nano dragons evolve if you defeat monsters as well with them.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Pokemon did it first. PSO just copied Pokemon.
Yeah, PSO is such a ripoff. Clearly, everything is stolen from Pokemon. That's why PSO is so broken as well. See, that's the weird discrepancy I have with like more popular communities out there. That a lot of like if there's an exploit in a game, then it's being always treated as a bad thing, right? From my own perspective, I'm like, it doesn't really matter. If you need to deliberately trigger it for it to happen, then I don't see it as a bad thing, really. If it's something that just happens randomly when you play the game casually, like, let's say with Sonic 2006, you just clip through the floor randomly, I can see that being a problem. But if you need to know about the glitch and the exploit to actually execute it, then I feel like that's not really a game design fault at that point, really. Because it clearly means there is some, like,
yeah, I mean, everything's subjective like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. I forgot about Booma Origins, the 4-legged Boomas. From Phantasy Star Zero. Yep. Yeah, Weedle's Mothman. That's maybe a little bit of a stretch, but I guess there isn't really a mosquito Pokemon, so it's about as good as you're gonna get. So my Squirtle did not learn Water Gun at level 14, so I misremembered. Maybe it's level 15. I don't think it... I'm pretty sure it learns Water Gun before it evolves, so it's gotta be 15. You got a redemption to bench. You forgot to let people enter in text on it, but... What are you gonna do, Dustin?
I didn't give the redemption on my Twitch chat. Is that an actual redemption?
It is.
I didn't say that on mine, that's weird. Well... crap.
I mean, I'm happy to intervene and say after Brock.
I think it would have to be, because the problem is we would literally just be doing Viridian Forest for another 2 hours then. You know. So yeah. I'd say after Brock that's fine, Rico, because I'm not willing to like completely like I don't want to double the duration of the stream merely by the fact I have to use a different Pokemon, you know?
Yeah, no, I think that's where I'm coming from. I'm gonna go look up what Squirtle's when it learns Water Gun. I thought it was well before now, but in a while.
Okay, hang on. Okay. At least I'm being lucky with Metapods, I guess. I got a lot of them.
It is 15, wow.
So 1 extra level.
I don't need it, but yeah.
How many experience points are you away from it?
Probably like 400, but I'll check. I think when you get it, we can just go, because Bubble is more than enough to beat Brock. 366. And I'm probably only getting like 4 experience from these Weedles anymore.
This is the 5th Metapod I've gotten in a row.
But yeah, I forgot that was a thing, Gunblade. I just thought, and I think they fixed that in later games, but skipping a level does cause you to miss a level up move. It'd be pretty hard to happen at a low level like this.
Well, skipping a level works.
Just if you get a lot of experience at once.
Okay. Is that likely to happen? I'm level 12 now.